Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 316. It is Monday. Here in Cincinnati, it's rainy, warm. I think it's like in the 50s today, but it is gray outside and a little windy. I opted to skip my run this morning and do some yoga, which was perfect. Perfect. The theme for today that is coming forward includes the word water in it, which I find funny since it's raining. But the feeling that I am feeling inside of myself that I would like to share and hold space for, so that as you step into this week, perhaps you can also tap into it. The feeling is of tranquility. And so this title of Tranquil Waters feels really sweet and powerful and also gentle. So the reason I bring this title up is because we are moving towards a full moon Wednesday night going into Thursday, and the full moon is in Gemini. Gemini is my rising sign, and so I know quite a bit about how it feels within myself and how it plays out in my life. And so I'll share that perspective. There's so much astrology that gives you other perspectives and can inform what is moving this week. So I would suggest also do your own research, do some reading, and see what resonates and let go of whatever doesn't. For me, what I'll share is this split in how you can move through the next few weeks. A full moon typically implies illumination, full light being shown on whatever it is that you're exploring at the time, and whatever astrological planet is or sign is giving you the information. And so each full moon has a different feeling to it, but they're all about seeing through the veil more clearly and allowing yourself to become more aware. As we step into that this week, that full moon carries us for the next 2 weeks, almost through to the end of the year, pretty close. Well, at least pretty significantly towards the end of this year. And so there's a lot of support if we are wanting to look at the things that are needing to be completed and cleared as we wrap up 2019, as we wrap up this decade. I might sound like a broken record. By the end of next week, when I wrap up the podcast for the year, you might be like, enough already about 2019 ending. It's that significant. It's why I keep bringing it up. It's why it's the theme of so much of my work right now. There is a lot of untapped potential that I feel many will miss. There's beautiful opportunities for healing and expansion that many will miss because they'll just move right through the transition into 2020 unconsciously. And while it's perfect and each will have their own experience, it's like there's this present waiting to be unwrapped, and it's just sitting there, and people are walking past the present, and I'm like, what are you doing? Look at that beautiful present. Look at what's there. Unwrap it. See what's inside. It might be your most favorite gift ever. That's the possibility that exists for us as souls in human bodies right at this time on our planet. And so I'm going to reflect and share whatever feels relevant over the next 2 weeks. And then I'm wrapping up my work, and I'm going to be just basking in the bliss that's going to be this transition of one decade into another. So that's my choice. And then everyone has their own choice of how they experience it. So back to today. We are beginning this week preparing or moving towards a full moon in Gemini. And the energy of Gemini, as I would describe it for myself, how I have felt it most of my life, is a duality, a split. Feeling both sides of things, understanding both perspectives of things, and then sitting in the middle of them trying to figure out which one do I focus on or which one do I choose to experience. Being able to hold the duality within myself, but feeling the pull, the push-pull within when I'm in that space. The duality I feel most present for myself and for all of us at the end of this year, at this full moon on Thursday or Wednesday. It's the duality of physical and spiritual, what we can see and touch and feel and taste and hold with what we can't yet see, what we can sense, what we can intuitively tap into, but we can't quite put our fingers on it yet. And so this balance, or this play of being a soul in a human body, it's the complexity of it, the beauty, the richness of it is available for us to really see in a new way as we move through this full moon. That was so well said. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that. That was really well said. I love when I get it exactly the way I wanted it to feel in words. Like, that's such a great feeling. So as we enter into this movement of energy, this momentum of energy, we can choose which way we experience it. And that's also part of this contrast of Gemini. You can get the crazies of a full moon, which so many do, right? Oh, it's intense, it's too much, I can't handle it, right? People are acting loony, like we have such judgment, and I have been this way myself many times in the past. So it's not that it's wrong to see it that way, it's just one choice of how to experience a full moon. Majorly intense, too much emotion, I'm going to just go to bed and pull the covers over my head. I've been there, I've done that. So it's absolutely one way to move through the next couple of weeks and to be overwhelmed by how much is being felt. Gemini, you can feel anything and all things, and it can be crazy feeling. The other option is to be so centered within ourselves individually, to be so tranquil and at peace with exactly where we are in our own journey, and looking at both sides and feeling both sides and knowing neither is right or wrong. We are physical bodies and we are spiritual beings, and sometimes we play more on one side than on the other side, and it's all perfect. And as we feel that harmony, that peace, that tranquility within, it doesn't really matter if there's chaos going on around us. It doesn't matter if other people think the full moon is overwhelmingly horrible. We're good. we're just tranquil, and we don't have to change anyone else's experience. We just are having our own, and ours is quite peaceful. So I say that on Monday. We'll check in throughout the week and see if I'm still saying that on Thursday, but it totally feels easy in this moment, like we can just sort of flow through this portal of astrological shifts, this illumination. We can just flow gently through it, and the waters in and around us will be tranquil because we feel tranquil. Yeah, yesterday on our Sunday meditation, I tapped into the full moon yesterday and was like, whoa, there's a lot that's arriving. And so the whole hour was spent really feeling the body and allowing resistance to move, not needing to unpackage and unwrap every single thing and figure it all out and understand what all the blocks are. It was just allowing movement, allowing energy to flow through from our crown and just go all the way down to our feet and into the earth, and then fill ourselves up with all that's coming in through our crown. It was so peaceful, so beautiful. So if you start to feel the intensity of the full moon in any way, that meditation recording is accessible. It's available for you over on my website and my store. There's such ease when we just allow energy to flow, when we unlock our muscles and our minds and our bodies, and we just allow it. We just become one with energy moving through us. That's tranquility in the way that I am feeling it and holding it. It's not being stagnant or having tranquil waters that are filled with mosquito bites or mosquitoes that are creating more mosquitoes, or alligators underneath the surface. It's not those kinds of tranquil waters with the dark, scary stuff underneath. It's energy moving with such calm and such, what is the word for it? Yeah, like a sigh of peace, a sigh of relief. That's the tranquility. Like there's no tension in my space. It's just energy flowing in and through. And so I am a being, a human, made mostly of water representing emotions. And also those emotions can be tranquil, they can be calm. And I'm fully alive, fully vibrant, tapped into what's happening around me and sensing and feeling energy in all these beautiful ways. But it doesn't ruffle my feathers. It doesn't disrupt the tranquility within. That's an incredible space to be in and to feel. And so when we can when we can be in that feeling, that flow, that ease for longer and longer times, what we start to notice almost immediately is when we don't feel that way. And so then we can bring our attention to the part of us that's feeling the contraction or the tightness or the resistance, and understand almost immediately where it is and what's happening, and then create movement again. Focus on just allowing the resistance to move and to flow through. And then it just becomes easier and easier to be in this feeling more and more for longer times. It just becomes more fun. That was the message I was getting in my meditation from my guides. They're like, you're doing so well. You're actually feeling more joyous for longer periods of time. Like, yes, good job. Yeah, it's reflected then in the physical things happening around us. So there's more joy in my physical day because the relationships are becoming clearer and easier, and there's a harmony in my schedule that's becoming easier. The conversations are sweeter. Like there's just more joy and love that is showing up without me trying to create it or force it. The activities are just happening, and I'm open to receiving that and allowing it. And so there's just more of them happening. It's good, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's really good. And that's the feeling we can be in, even as we move through what may for some be a more tumultuous full moon. So, yeah, see where you are and feel into it, and then just ask in your meditation space for more, to allow more flow to come through you and to move any resistance out. And then see what starts to shift. Okay, we're going to start this week off. I am headed to a lunch and love and all kinds of good stuff happening this week. Next week I will be working Monday through Thursday, and then I am, what would the word be? I want to say checking out, but that's not it, because I'm definitely not checking out. I'm going to be very present. I am moving my focus. Yeah, I am refocusing starting next week on Friday, and the podcast will be back in 2020. So we have a few more days together to play in this way, and then it'll be time to be with family and friends. Yeah, so good, right? So good. All right, I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a beautiful Monday, friends. Thank you for tuning in to this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me on Sunday mornings for an hour of meditation, visualization, and energy healing, where we realign our mind, body, spirit with Gaia and Source. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.